Have you ever felt tired? Not because of work, but because your mind just won't stop talking. Maybe you replay past mistakes or worry about your future, your job, your bills, your family. Maybe you lie in bed at night while your thoughts run in endless circles. If you've ever felt trapped inside your own head, this story is for you. Because once there was a man who felt the same way, until one simple encounter changed everything. This is his story, and maybe it's yours too. In a quiet town near rolling hills, there lived a 27-year-old man named Daniel. From the outside, his life seemed stable. He had a steady job as an office clerk, a small home, and decent health. But inside, Daniel was exhausted. His mind never rested. He constantly replayed old arguments, regrets, and mistakes. And when he wasn't stuck in the past, he worried about the future, money, job security, and his aging parents. Every night, these thoughts followed him like shadows. Sleep felt distant. Peace felt impossible. It was as if he carried an invisible weight everywhere he went, pressing down on his chest and mind. One afternoon, a close friend noticed his condition and said gently, "Daniel, you should visit the old teacher who lives near the waterfall. People say he helps those who can't find peace." Daniel wasn't convinced at first. The idea sounded too simple, almost unrealistic, but the heaviness in his heart had grown too strong to ignore. The next morning, he decided to go. The journey was long and quiet, leading him through a narrow path surrounded by tall trees and distant birdsong. After hours of walking, he finally reached a small wooden hut beside a clear, flowing waterfall. The steady sound of water filled the air, calm and unchanging. Outside the hut sat an old man, quietly washing a clay bowl with slow, careful movements. Daniel approached respectfully and said, "Sir, my mind never stops. I'm always thinking, always worrying. I just want peace. Please help me." The old teacher looked up with a gentle smile and said, "Come with me." He led Daniel to the riverbank and handed him a small empty basket. "Pick up some pebbles," he said, "one for every worry that comes into your mind." Daniel began collecting stones. Each pebble represented something: past mistakes, missed chances, painful memories. He kept picking more. Then came thoughts about the future, financial fears, loneliness, uncertainty. Soon the basket became full and heavy in his hands, weighing him down. The teacher looked at him calmly and said, "Now carry this basket and walk to that tree at the top of the hill." Daniel nodded and began climbing. The path was steep, and with every step, the basket felt heavier. His arms started to ache, his breathing grew uneven, and sweat formed on his forehead. Still, he continued upward, determined to reach the top. When he finally arrived, he placed the basket on the ground and took a deep breath, exhausted. The teacher, who had followed him quietly, asked, "How do you feel?" Daniel replied, "Tired. It feels like I've been carrying a mountain." The teacher smiled gently and said, "That basket is your mind. Each pebble is a worry, a regret, a fear. You've been carrying them every single day. No wonder you feel so tired." Daniel looked down at the basket, understanding beginning to settle in. The teacher then said, "Now throw one pebble away." Daniel picked one and tossed it down the hill. Now another. He threw another, and then another. With each pebble he released, the weight became lighter. His body relaxed, and something inside him began to shift. Soon, the basket was empty. The teacher said softly, "Peace doesn't mean you stop thinking. It means you stop carrying what doesn't belong to this moment. When you let go of unnecessary weight, your mind becomes free, like the open sky above us." Daniel stood quietly, feeling the cool breeze on his face and listening to the distant sound of the waterfall. For the first time in years, his mind felt still. No noise, no pressure, just calm. In that moment, he realized that peace had never been far away. It had been buried beneath the weight of his own thoughts. He bowed deeply and said, "I understand now. Peace doesn't come from outside. It begins within us when we finally learn to let go." The teacher smiled, his eyes filled with quiet wisdom. As Daniel walked back down the hill, the sun began to set, painting the sky in shades of gold and orange. His basket was empty, but his heart felt full. He was no longer carrying yesterday's regrets or tomorrow's fears. He was finally present, living in this moment. And maybe that's where peace has been waiting for all of us, beneath the weight we choose to release.